Mr. Revolver Guy here with dayattherange.com. I'm here on private indoor range today with, as you can see, my Ransom Rest. This is a refurbished Ransom Rest that I sent back to Ransom International, and they did a spectacular job. I will post pictures of what the previous Ransom Rest looked like. This is a circa 1979, 1980s Ransom Rest that has been refurbished again by Ransom International. You can see the heavy base plate, really heavy, more so than what I had it mounted to before. It's got the windage plate on it now, and inside the Ransom Rest we have round butt J-frame grips. Over the next month or so, I intend to take a look at these J-frame revolvers that I have here. Thankful to a close friend of mine who loaned me these J-frames. And we are going to see if the J-frame snub nose revolver is really capable of accuracy at 25 yards or greater. We're going to start out at 25 yards indoor range with 38 special ammunition, wad cutter that I have reloaded with 3.5 grains of W231 over 148 grain wad cutter. Let's get the old model 36 here loaded into the Ransom Rest. We're going to start there and see what kind of groups we turn in at 25 yards. Stay tuned for snub nose accuracy test. So you can see I got the Model 36 mounted in the Ransom Rest. There are specific instructions out on Ransom International about how to use this specific rest. I've been using it for quite a long time, not saying that I'm an expert or anything of that nature. But what we will intend to do today is we're going to shoot in each one of the revolvers that you saw in the beginning of the video will be shot with 3 groups of 5 shots individually each, with the 38 special wad cutter loaded with small Winchester pistol primer and 3.5 grains of W231. These chronograph for me right at about 765 feet per second across the chronograph. But today we're going to shoot again the revolvers that you've seen at the target about 20 yards away, indoor range, and see what kind of accuracy we get out of snub nose. I've seen so many reviews about snub nose revolvers and the accuracy or lack thereof. I've seen some say they're nothing but a belly gun. I truly believe it's about your control, your practice with a snub nose revolver. But we're going to take the human element out of it and use the Ransom Rest to see what the accuracy is like. We're going to shoot 5 shots to settle the Smith & Wesson Model 36 into the Ransom Rest. Then we're going to change the elevation and shoot a 10-shot group. That'll be 2 5-shot groups at the target down range, and we'll do that for each revolver you saw at the very beginning of the video and see what it comes out like. Stay tuned. All right, we're ready to shoot the first 5 shots out of the Smith & Wesson Model 36 out of the Ransom Rest at 25 yards, really about 20 yards. I apologize for the noise of the indoor range. That is the ventilation system. Must have that turned on. But we're going to shoot these 5 shots and see what it comes out like. I do have something new from Ransom Rest International. It is the remote trigger mechanism. As you can see, it's attached via cable and allows you to manipulate the ransom rest and the trigger on the firearm without having to sit directly behind the ransom rest. We're going to go for it today. This is my first time using it. It was part of the refurb package that I ordered from Ransom Rest. They did a fantastic job on the refurbishing. You'll see the before and after pictures, just really night and day. But let's get down to business and what we came here for. Shot one. Shot two. Shot three. Shot four. This will be shot five. And again, these are just the settling groups. All right, those are the settling groups. Everything is tight. We're gonna go ahead and unload the pistol, put another 5 rounds in, change the elevation, and go for some groups, downrange. Okay, now that we've fired the settling groups inside the Ransom Rest, we're gonna go for 5 accuracy shots. This will be the second group of the day out of the Smith & Wesson Model 36. I'm going to try to operate the Ransom Rest the same each and every time to end up with consistent groups. I know my reloads are great. We already have 5 shots on round of settling groups downrange. And I apologize, I only brought 1 camera with me today. The other wasn't charged. But after the 3 groups of 5 shots, we'll walk downrange and see what the groups look like. Stay tuned. All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to change the elevation to get a group in a different spot, and then we'll see what it looks like downrange. Back to fire the last 5 shots after changing the elevation on the Ransom Rest with the elevation knob here in the front here. I've changed the elevation to get a totally different spot for groups on the last 5 shot. Again, we've fired 5 settling shots, 5 shots for accuracy, and the last 5 shots, and we're going to average out the groups with some software that I have at home. We'll average out the groups and give the average of the group accuracy out of the Smith & Wesson Model 36. Let's see how she performs. All right, that's a nice little group headshot on the target down range. We're going to take the camera down range and see what the groups look like. Let's clear the pistol first. Right. So we got the Smith & Wesson Model 36 safe. Got some pretty good groups down range. So are snub nose revolvers accurate? Is the Ransom Rest worth the money when you want to test real accuracy? And I am sure with a better bench, though this one is level on concrete, pretty heavy, along with the base plate, makes it sturdy. If it was mounted to concrete, probably better groups. Again, the Smith & Wesson Model 36 is in a safe condition. Let's take a walk down range and see what the groups look like. Oh, some nice groups. So right there, those are the 5 shots that were settling shots. And the reason you fire those settling shots is to get the frame of the pistol, no matter revolver or semi-automatic, settled in the grips. And as you can see there, after the first 5 shots, my second 5 shots where I adjusted the windage, which makes the windage base a great tool for the Ransom Rest, I just simply adjusted the windage. Believe it or not, that is 5 shots, folks. 5 shots. And then you come up to the last shots where I adjusted elevation. And there you have it. 5 shots. We'll get these groups measured. The 2 groups measured. That is the last 5 shots. This is the second group. And then you have the settling 5 shots over here. Wow. No doubt for me, snub nose revolvers, absolutely accurate. I would absolutely trust my life to one, and I do every day as I carry one. Look at the other revolvers mounted in the Rest and see how well they do. The Smith & Wesson Model 36 turned in an average group size of 0.806 inches. Now mounted in the Ransom Rest is a Smith & Wesson Model 37. I'm pretty envious that a friend of mine would loan me this, as it's never been fired before. And it's a Model 37-1. He was gracious, kind enough to allow me to test it. And we'll see how it shoots right out of the box. This is right out of the box. Again, Smith & Wesson Model 37, never been fired before. We're gonna use the same test as we did with the Model 36. 15 rounds, first 5 rounds, settling groups, second 5 rounds for accuracy, third 5 rounds for accuracy, changing the point of impact on each group set. Let's get started. last shot. All right, 5 shots down range. We're gonna adjust the windage. We're gonna get 5 more shots on target. Got the Model 37 loaded back up. Got windage adjusted. Gonna put 5 more shots on target. All right, pretty decent group downrange. I'm not gonna spoil it. We're gonna put another 5 rounds in here and go for it. So we're gonna change the elevation just a hair to get the groups in a different spot. Make sure everything's tight. Let's go for another 5 rounds. Last 5 shots of the Smith & Wesson Model 37. Not too bad. All right. That's 5 shots. We're going to make this thing safe. We're going to take the camera down range and look at the old Smith & Wesson Model 37 groups, and doesn't look too bad from here, but let's take a journey down range. All right, Smith & Wesson Model 37 and a newly refurbished Ransom Rest. Beautiful piece of work by Ransom International to refurbish an old 1979 circa Ransom Rest that tells you these things are built for life. Let's take a trip down range to see how the old Smith & Wesson Model 37 did. Remember, this pistol is a brand new pistol, never been fired before. Outside of the factory, these are the first 15 shots. There, on the bottom, are the settling shots. Not too bad. Above that, we have the second 5 shots of accuracy. It was stringing the shots somewhat, which made me check the tightness of the knobs. There is a science to it, and I did have the C knob a little loose, so I had to go back and tighten it up. So it might not be fair to the Model 37, but then again, still very capable. And this is the last 5 shots out of the Smith & Wesson Model 37. The Smith & Wesson Model 37 turned in an average group size of 1.553 inches. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will wrap up the accuracy test of snub-nosed revolvers. Mr. Revolver Guy, DayAtTheRange.com.